you want me to post it anywhere? Do you want me to share it anywhere?
Uh, you can if you want. I've started streaming now, so hey everyone,
Oh
we're
no!
here.
Hello!
We're live. You're live on set.
Oh god, oh no. I'm too nervous for this.
Okay, so this is the Great Ace Attorney. It is a game. It's by the renowned Shu Takumi. He did the other Ace Attorney games. He did his Phoenix Wright games. You've played those, have you, Haley?
I have indeed played them plenty.
Yes, good. I've also played a lot of them. I've played the first two. I played the first two. I think like 2 or 3 times. Played the second one only once. The third one only once, I should say. Uh, Played Apollo Justice once. I've played the fifth one once. I did not finish the sixth one. I didn't finish the one where they go to not India. Not I don't know.
Where they leave Japan, America, and go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, this is the Greatest Journey. This one is a very unique game. It's a prequel, and just gonna show off a bit of the things here. Special contents. I believe a lot of this stuff is spoilers, so we're gonna be ignoring it for now. Options, audio, gameplay, language, reader. This, you might be interested in this. This is the story mode. This just basically lets you skip, like, all of the mystery stuff. Like, it basically just glosses over all the gameplay, so you don't have to do anything. You just get to, like, watch the story play out, basically.
So easy.
Yes, easy mode.
I don't know if I prefer that or not. I definitely don't.
Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna be doing that myself. We're just gonna be I should mention I'm the one playing this game. Haley over here is just commenting and watching.
Yeah, I'm back streaming. I'm back playing. What's it
Exactly.
called?
She's backseat gaming.
Backseat. Backseat.
Okay. So, new game.
Oh, so exciting.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence.
You hear the audio fine, right?
Eastern island nation.
I
Good.
do.
Good.
The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Dun dun.
Oh god, his head is large.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Did you do?
What did you do?
I don't believe it. I already know he's a good boy. Won't believe
Even? Yes, he's a very good boy, as you'll come to see. 22nd of November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defense's Antechamber 5. I believe that's what that
it.
says.
Number 4.
Hmm?
I wouldn't even know.
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer!
Word.
Dot dot dot. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. So, fun fact, in Phoenix Wright, in the Japanese version of Phoenix Wright anyway, his name is Ryoichi Naruhodo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because he
So-
has that jumper that has the Ryu on it, doesn't he?
Yeah. And
In the
so,
Japanese.
so this character is very clearly meant to be Phoenix Wright's, like, great-grandfather or something.
Yeah. Naruto.
I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. He is not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer.
Oh, it's...
You're wondering who...
He has his own wind and everything.
That's a good point, yeah. He, don't know where that wind is coming from. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue.
He's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool. So, I've already played this case anyway, like the first half of it. This guy is... Well, you'll see, okay?
I'm very excited to see.
Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. Always keep a fan off screen so your hair and bands flow coolly. Yeah.
Exactly.
And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. ... What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. ... He also has a
He's
sword...
good boy.
Yeah, Ryunosuke's a good boy. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha! There you go again, apologizing. That feels like the kind of laugh he would have. Ha 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 ha!
Definitely sounds like it. It sounds too powerful.
Just like always. Ah. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspaper these past few days. Bleh. Sorry if I stumble with some of these lines here. I'm, not a professional reader, unfortunately.
I am exactly the same.
Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student? But obviously,
No.
you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! Oh, hi, Shiny. Hi, MF. Hi, Dark?
Yeah.
You got... Lurks. I could never murder someone! And there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Sogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive. Yeah, that's... Let me go back and read that, okay? Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. Oh. You have a deeper voice than I thought you would. Oh, thanks. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyer is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. Wow! A Phoenix Wright game...
Actual Japan.
Yeah! It's a Phoenix Wright game where they actually take place in Japan. I'm just imagining Ryunosuke being like, oh my god, we're actually in Japan! And this is actually sushi! This isn't hamburgers! And he's just like...
Burgers!
Before lawyers, they just cut everyone down with swords. I mean, kind of.
That sounds about right.
My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name.
And the
He's a...
he still has the wind.
Oh wow, yeah, his headband is still blowing. Even in a cutscene. Oh god, it's just reminding me of... Have you seen Spider-Verse, Haley?
I have indeed.
Yeah. Where's that wind coming from? Wherever I go, the wind follows.
He has his own personal wind that follows him.
He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura blowing around his temple. I mean, yes. You could see it. But fans are eternal. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean, to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Yeah, I wish I could see London.
Don't go there. It's not great here.
Yeah, it's not great here too either, unfortunately. But, Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Now remember... What'd you say?
Partner.
Partner. Now, now remember, they do speak English. That's important.
He's gone.
He's gone. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case is of personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi! You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once, then. Do you want to voice any of the characters in this game, or do you want me to just read all the dialogue?
And you can do the ladies, if you'd like. Oh, I can try to, at least.
Oh, go ahead, be my guest.
Alright then. I shall accompany you. I'm just gonna do a normal voice. I don't even know why I coughed.
Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Ugh, this is awkward! Wait, does she have a British accent already? I thought she was still in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yuji Mikotoba. Mikotoba, that's it. Eugene Mikotoba, sorry. I sometimes have trouble with Japanese names.
They can be hard to pronounce sometimes.
I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Cosmo before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get government to agree to Cosmo studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. ... As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. ...
Exclamation mark.
He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable circumstances. I don't believe it. ... But I didn't do it! I swear it! I'm not a murderer! Look at my face! Is this the face of a murderer? Look at these
Pretty
little...
cute face.
Aren't I adorable? You think I'm adorable, don't you, Professor Mikotoba? Well, you kind of are, I guess.
I definitely think you're yes.
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. ... Exclamation mark!
Yes. Don't tell us before we go in.
Yeah, don't tell us before we go in. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Okay. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do?
Proposal?
But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Cosmo Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Ugh. Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Cosmo's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder! Murder! And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. Okay, Twin Wolf. See ya!
Twin.
My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. #22nd of November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. So this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of these people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded this be a secret trial.
Secret.
A secret trial? Secret trial.
Oh,
Secret
no.
trial.
In the courthouse.
A trial that's close to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. My bad. But for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. So, are you seeing a joke here, Haley?
Oh, I'm gonna feel so stupid if I don't get it, because I know the prosecutor has always got that pun in his name.
Okay, remember, in Phoenix Wright 1, his name is Winston Payne. Now, try saying that name that you see there out loud.
Oh no, oh god, ouchie.
Yes.
Ah, God,
Winston,
I love it.
Winston Payne, ouchie. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense.
Oh, he's so fancy. I can't get over it.
Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confer. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. I see the judge is the same man from the Phoenix Wright series. You know what? I actually have to wonder, considering how old the judge looks in the original Phoenix Wright, I have to wonder if this is the same guy.
He is really old.
But, no, that's too old. There's no way. There's no way. This has to be like...
Conspiracy theory?
Conspiracy theory. Game theory? Is this judge the same one from Phoenix Wright?
Oh no! Not another game theory!
As we learned, the Fae Clan has the power to channel the dead into their bodies and take on their physical attributes. Okay.
Oh my god. It all makes sense.
Normal procedure is for the defense advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
Oh, that's why he said to say I do.
Yes. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... Oh no, oh no. I was really hoping that the question would be, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I mean, I wish it was that as well, but also...
I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Well, let's answer I do.
Jake, I mean, how else are we supposed to play?
Exactly. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. Oop.
Yes!
What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself!
He's so nervous, oh my gosh!
What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. ... How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... ... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. You don't understand, Ryunosuke. I have to be as dramatic as possible. Where do you think this wind comes from? This is willpower.
What he's going for?
So yeah, Kazuma is kind of like the Mia Fey of this game.
Oh, until I hope nothing bad happens to him.
Well, let's... I honestly don't know if anything happens to him, so, let's keep playing and see.
Let's go!
Tis, Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Slam. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defense's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Is that so, Naruhodo-san? Hmm? Oh! Yes, exactly! Oh, God. Exactly what I wasn't thinking! I'm not confident at all! You really are a lot like your grandson, you know that?
Oh, poor baby.
Look! He's even doing the thing!
Oh, you can see the resemblance so much.
I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetuated a most heinous crime indeed.
Slam. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency!
It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? Oh my god, you're a university student! You should know what...
Nate.
You should know what competence means. He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simple questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember that! What was it again? Ah, poor Ryunosuke.
Oh, he's trying so hard, though.
Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. Yes, I do know you quite well. Okay, no, I'll stop. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! Well, you just have to touch the bottom screen, and we don't have a bottom screen! This is on a home console!
Where's the bottom screen?
It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R1.
Press of R... What the heck does that mean?
This is real life. There's no R1.
Anytime a character actually does, like, a tutorial discussion like that, I always have to wonder, like, what in real life, in the reality of this actual setting, is going on?
always wanted to just try that. Just go up to someone and go, oh, you have to pick up items by clicking E. And just seeing their reaction.
They just stare at you and they're like, oh, thanks. And then something just levitates in front of them.
Powers!
If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult it. Just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R1 for the court record? Alright. There's no time to lose. Ah.
You did it.
Yes! This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R1. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press O to go back. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. Kazuma Asogi, 23, a second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, qualified defense lawyer as well. Eugene Mikotoba, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He's an author in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. Taketsuchi Ouchi. Ouchie! The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes that the Cultural Reformation has brought about. So, basically that's why this guy's dressed like an old school shogun.
Oh, can't get
He's
with
like-
the times.
Yeah, he's like an old school guy. Hates all this, modern culture, all this English westernization brought in.
Kids these days. God, he's one of those people.
So
Doesn't
I
want
want
people and he's a lord.
So I wonder who the victim is. I wonder if it's just some nobody. John H. Wilson. Oh, okay. The victim of this case. He was visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Okay. John
Doesn't even have a
Wilson.
pun name. Am I missing a pun? Because usually there is one.
Haley. Do you remember the partner of one Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, this is
Oh my god.
this is him. This is John Watson is dead.
No, Watson!
Watson! Oh, all the Sherlock fans are gonna flip their shit.
Oh, we don't need that anymore.
So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Also remember, the autopsy report can be updated at any time. At any time.
Only jerks do that.
Now you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press triangle to present. Try it now. Alright.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign empire. Foreign ally.
Empire?
Yes. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together, after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Yes, our Treaty of Friendship. Friendship!
Friendship.
I just love that it's called that.
You'd think they'd come up with a better name.
We should have called it the Treaty of Chodai. Get it? Cause Chodai? Chodai? Yeah, okay.
And yet despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient, expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial is the usual. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. Oh, so this is a kangaroo court.
So rude.
No offense, Ailey.
None taken.
All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then. Partner. Partner.
Partner. Goodbye, partner.
The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think... ... Wait.
It's incredible to think. At all.
Oh my god! I'm thinking! I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello.
Who does that?
I mean, he's just being friendly, saying hi to the nice foreigner.
Can't relate.
So
I
I
don't
went...
say hi to anyone.
Fair enough. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? How did the Professor of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, then select present. Do it now. Oh. So there is no autopsy report, just a post-mortem report. Actually, hold on, what is this? Ah, okay. Victim John H.
So much information. Yeah.
Victim John H. Wilson. Male, British, time of death, 19th of November, shortly after 2 p.m. Cause of death, single bullet fired at close range, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Okay, every single bit of information in this game... It's hard to tell when information is just unnecessary or it's just really important, so gotta remember that.
Gotta remember everything just in case.
Yes!
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma?
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it?
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report? In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern, scientific evidence into the court. this modern scientific evidence known as a photograph.
I just kept looking at the stake. Why do I feel like that stake's gonna come back at some point?
Maybe. The photographic print that shows the victim. He was shot in the front, the chest, and subsequently died. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. It's so modern the photo even has shading. It's true, it does. No color, though. Very well, I am satisfied with your answer. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise this court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it, then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Ah, of course!
So see, he is basically Mia Fey here.
I like him as the assistant. I like him a lot.
Yes. Well, he was speaking with me before. He simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares at first.
Oh god, he's aware of the headband.
How does it blow like that?
It's sentient!
Have you ever seen Kill la Kill, Ryunosuke?
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival.
Ahem, ahem.
Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Uh-oh.
Sauce.
That's not good. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. I don't know, dude. Blood spilling down the bottom of your cheek there, that usually means you're dying in anime.
Yeah, it's kind of like a death flag there.
Well, it really, really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Occidental? I think that's what that is.
I've never even heard that word before, I don't think.
It's either Occidental or Occidental. Understood. Hosonagas.
It's English. It's weird.
Yeah. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? Ha ha! Oh, Ryunosuke. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at the time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else eating at the place.
Ahem, ahem.
It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out the dining area to see what happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
I mean, no! Not me! Forget I said yes!
Why would you agree with that?
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. Well, I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor. I didn't shoot him.
Objection! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. I will go down in history as the killer of amateurs, and my bloodline will go down as the killer of amateurs. You amateur?
Unlikely.
But... The next time you interrupt an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here today, correct?
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... Oh? There was a woman sitting opposite of him at the table.
Dun dun.
Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about it interjecting, but still, what should I do?
Interject.
Alright, if you say so.
Oh no.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there really any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. ... No. The deceased gentleman came to dinner to dine alone. I don't believe it. Well, I'm not gonna lie, this guy is kinda sus if you ask me.
He is a little sus.
Ahem, ahem. I just don't trust any guy who pushes his glasses up and then they, like, gloss over with light.
Yeah, the fog up thing where you just can't see it. No, never trust that.
I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout, drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan over to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Sus.
Oh, he's acting suspicious.
What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record.
He's headbanging.
He's headbanging.
So, the court has now heard a precis of the case.
I've already beaten this gotten past this part of the game, I should mention. Gonna do something here. Yeah. The game kinda... The game kind of cheats here, I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I'll talk about it later, but for now just know that that card's gonna come up later, okay? Obviously.
Okay then.
Yeah, it's obviously gonna come up later because it's evidence, but yeah.
I look forward to it.
Damn it, if only I could read Japanese. Hey. Yes.
True, I wonder what it says. Probably like kitchen or something? Oh god, I don't even know.
Actually, let me take a look. Yeah. Oh, yeah, kitchen. See, they even... Yeah, kitchen entrance.
Oh,
The-
it even
it's-
says it next to it. Wow.
It's subtitled. My bad. I missed that.
I didn't even see that at first.
Yeah. Well, good to know. Good to know. We can read Japanese. Well, we can't, but they can. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. ... Exclamation! Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. Well, considering this is Japan in the 17th century, or 18th century, I should say, late 18th century, I don't quite know what small reprieve is. Is it life imprisonment over execution, or is it, like, something else?
I would probably say life imprisonment, or maybe a really bad case of community service.
I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue the matter further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
You said no one was there. ...
There were a few people, if you remember the original cutscene.
True. ... What
do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Oh, Ryunosuke, you don't understand. Pleading guilty works in a more sensible world, where, like, crimes are fairly easy to solve and fairly easy to understand what happened. But in this world, all kinds of convoluted bullshit happens.
Yeah, you're screwed, man.
Everyone keeps telling me that this... Oh, sorry. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. ... As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. ... The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. We'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Wow!
Good point.
He just pointed his finger just like that. Oh, I wish I could do that.
He's so powerful.
Actually, wait a minute. Wasn't Mia Fey the one who did that first, and Wright learned it from her?
I can't remember anymore.
I thought that was like a point in Phoenix Wright 3. Okay.
Gotta be.
Thanks, Kazuma. You were always my favorite Yakuza. It's true. There is a character in Yakuza named Kazuma. Indeed. Prosecutor Auchi, Please continue with the proceedings.
Tisk! Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
Who the hell's calling you a saint?
Ugh, dude.
Uh,
In a few short moments from now, that dumb-struck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. I didn't actually say that, but you can imagine me saying it.
It's implied.
The prosecution calls its next witness.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Two witnesses at once? Witnesses?
What is this? Oh my gosh.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yasunosa, reporting for duties, sir. So you get this one, right?
I do.
Yasunosa. God.
Hearing it just makes me understand it so much more.
And this guy. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Koreikuta at your service. Curio Koreikuta. Yeah, I don't know what his pun is, if he has one.
I feel like I should know, but
Curio...
is he like a curator?
Curio, as in the curios. Like, I believe curio is actually a word for, like, yeah, it's like curator. But it's like curios as in antiques.
Oh.
I do believe that is a word. I'd have to look that up, though.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other they must be the diners at the other table that waiter mentioned.
They were the dinners.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with the interesting parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. See, curios.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good pun. That's a good pun. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He's obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precious moment of this most atrocious incident.
The precise moment, not the precious moment.
Yes, it was quite a precious moment when that man got killed.
So emotional.
Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's an impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard strange noise during that last thing he said. Did you hear it, by the way?
I don't think so. Was there a noise?
Well, you'll see. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw, at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir! Sir, yes, sir! Did you hear that?
I did. I think. Oh god.
Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most Arabic afternoon. Acerbic afternoon. I don't know. That guy's a thesaurus. I was ingesting a regular beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
I heard it.
Oh, you heard it now?
Yeah.
The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, abscond precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired in the weapon at the You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. I apologize to everyone watching and listening.
I get tongue-tied all the time.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked, unsavory cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. Times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. Why did you do that, Ryunosuke?
Move.
That's like the last thing you should do when something like that happens. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting.
Oh, the music.
I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down and just as I was picking it up... Bang! Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on that scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Wow! What is this cross-examine you talk about? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defense is clearly guilty. It's time to bring the despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony of the court has just heard, eliminating any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of the trial.
Yes! Oh my god.
What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands right to cross-examination! Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. He dares insult my headband?
Not the headband!
Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. And don't you dare insult my headband again! Roll. Kazuma is so commanding.
He's so cool.
Oh, I wish I could marry him. I mean...
Inner thoughts! Inner thoughts!
Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier said has to be a lie. What the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke! Don't let them beat you! Alright then!
No.
He can't slam the desk!
Oh, poor baby boy!
He can't slam the desk right!
He's not strong enough!
I'm not strong enough! Please help me, Mr. Kazuma!
Please help!
I was ingesting a regular beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Okay, so we already heard all this. Just gotta do what we normally do in this game. Now, I've already beaten this part, unfortunately, so I know exactly what to do.
Yeah, you already know. I'm just along for the ride at the moment.
So, I'll tell you. Black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Now.
Oh, well, really? From the back.
Yeah, exactly. So, as we can see here, bullet shot fired at the front. Did not exit out the back, so there's no back wound. This is clearly the contradiction.
Yes!
Dot,
Oh,
dot,
but he
dot.
puts his hand up.
Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir! I mean, yes! There's a clear inconsistency here! I can't slam the desk.
He's gonna be such a big boy when he's able to do it.
Tis, what nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond a doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student in this grand courtroom. Arg, this is so frustrating. Slam? Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the courts.
You killed him, Kazuma.
Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance of the photographic print presented by the defense. Blech. But there's a clear discrepancy here. With the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Yasunosa. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because...
You can do it, man. You can do it.
Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah! Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain? Oh, What? It's obviously his hump. He has a terrible flesh growth.
Oh my no.
What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At the juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharged, my eyes were firmly fixed on the decision lock on the delicious Loch Hunterville steak, sir. Okay.
He was looking at a baby!
What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Iesa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor in this grand courtroom. Yeah! There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial. Just on that one discrepancy. A complete turnabout. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, what are the odds?
So this is what being an ace attorney is all about.
Title drop.
Title drop! And fun fact, that was the other title drop back there, since, in Japan anyway, this series is called Gyakutan Saiban, which literally just means the turnabout. Or turnabout or whatever, yeah.
Turntables.
Turntables, yes. But I definitely saw him! That university cadet there! He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back!
Yes!
I really need to stop doing that! But I never fired the gun! All I did was pick it up off the floor! And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot, either? ... Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was but far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Well, the dinosaur for one thing. Also hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed! The Hoei-era Koban, my prized coin! The Hoei-era Koban, my prized coin.
He's a bit crazy.
Yeah, look at those teeth. Guy's a regular Master Roshi.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
On each occasion when I visit the restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I proffered my Hoei treasure. I believed that he would purchase a rare find. I did not. But I was prevented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes from the briefest of moments, there was no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhaps it had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean... Indeed I did. I hated it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? ... No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. That or some little...
Probably the baby took it. The
Yeah,
baby did everything.
The baby took it and ate it. The baby also shot Mr. Wilson. It's just like who shot Mr. Burns.
The baby did it.
If this follows the first game, it's likely that Kazuma will be a victim. Well,
No!
Hey, I don't know what happens to him, but let's put all our chips down. Let's hope. Let's hope.
No. He has to live. He's too cool.
I mean, if he does die, then Ryunosuke needs to put on his headband. As I'm sure everyone is present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony to the court as just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on the trial right now. Our government will not be submissive and breedable. I'm so sorry. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back.
What?
He's just weird. ...
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witness to testify again. We will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think?
Affirmative. A newest member of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Aido. You
It
just got it.
Clicked.
Aido Nosa.
I don't know, sir. Don't know.
It would seem these straps are a sign of Sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Aido, tension! Your father's about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy! Aww.
You booga.
Ew, yeah. Witness testimony. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out! These testimonies are certainly compelling. I mean, I need to stop doing this!
He's really gonna stop saying yes to everything.
Wait, that's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman! There was a young woman at his table! You must have seen her! Everyone must have seen her!
Objection! If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rule of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel?
Indeed. Of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly see, there is only one place set.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not the company of anyone else.
Arg, this doesn't make any sense.
The court will add the new photographic... The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. The photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him! Dot dot dot. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. Our treaty of friendship.
Friendship.
To think that I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, will have contributed to the amity of the two greatest empires is an honor.
Sorry if I'm coughing a bit here.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule.
Stand tall, Ryunosuke! It's not over yet!
What? Is that you?
Father? No, it's me. Kazuma, you're my father? No.
Dad?
What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth. In your cross-examination.
I don't know, Kazuma.
The defense is entitled to a cross-examination of the witness. But make it quick, understood?
Tis, rules can be so unbending at times.
The true culprit. Even if what I said wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost exactly the same.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was. That young...
Oh, wait. I already did this part, right. So, what I need to do is I need to press... This is my, this is the press tutorial is what I'm trying to say. I just need to recall what I did.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
If only there had been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
Oh? There was?
This was found at the victim's jacket pockets.
What is that, Counsel?
It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Hota Clinic. Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. So, in Phoenix Wright 2, there's actually a Hoti Clinic, if you recall.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, so I think this is supposed to be a reference to that. He was deathly allergic to gunshots. Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah, unless someone doesn't, and that's just weird.
19th November.
Secretly immortal.
Secretly immortal, yes.
Just like the judge! Game theory!
19th November, noon past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
So the victim went to a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution feels no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has nothing to be on this case. As it really has no bearing on this case. Well, I wouldn't say that.
I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke? It's fine, they took their allergy meds, the bullet wouldn't kill them.
Some strong med.
Yeah, the truth of this case is that he took his anti-bullet allergy meds, and so the real cause of death was the poison in the steak.
I knew that steak would come back.
Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered in the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not?
Yes! Yes, you should!
Yes!
Oh, finally, you did that
Nope.
right. If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds?
Want it.
The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are concerned is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Ugh. Very well. The court will grant the defense request.
Tisk. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend.
What the fuck,
What
dude?
an, what an asshole.
Jeez, yeah, what an asshole. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. The victim's medical report card has been entered into the court record. What we need right now is new clues. Imagine actually using your rights like that's just something you do. Yeah, exactly. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you'd like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korikuta-san.
Debatable.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman dining all by himself. Okay, so what we need to do is I need to
What
look
does it
at
say? What does it say?
medical report card, right. So we need to look at... Oh, right, it's not going to let me do that yet. Hold on.
Oh, you can't even look at it yet?
Yeah, no. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see the medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? Notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are ones you may examine. Press X and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use the analog stick. Right analog stick. I'm just imagining that he goes, use, and then Reno, so he just looks at him and is like, how are you doing that with your mouth? Can you do that on command, or...
Where did you learn that?
To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. But using... How are you doing that with your mouth?
He's just too talented. No one can stop him.
You can move the crosshairs around the hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press X to investigate further.
I mean, he's seeing a crosshair. I would probably go to the doctor if I saw that.
So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use... Okay, I can think that, but I can't do it with my mouth yet. Need to get some training. Need to get some training in. Okay, so let's see here. Medical report card required for every visit. Dr. John Wilson, Hoda Clinic. It says Hoda Clinic on the medical report card. I hate clinics, almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Maybe don't be anti-vax right now. That's a bad mood at this time of the year.
Thought you knew better. God.
Thought you knew better, Ryunosuke. I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have only had one cold their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. So, here's the deal. Dentist.
Can you open it?
He's a dentist.
Oh, dentist.
Now think about that for a second. It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment. That's why. The family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Ryunosuke, I'm not appreciating this side of your character, honestly. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point, so you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible-tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege.
Dude,
All-
chill.
All when you're on your lowest ebb. I mean, I guess that part's accurate.
Yeah. ...
You sound like a model patient. With a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is a very bitter medicine indeed. Let's open it up.
Stamps.
Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief.
Oh, I get it.
Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note for the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure, until anesthetic effects have passed. So, you see
The
where this...
dots.
Yep,
I've
See?
connected them.
connected the dots. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
I knew that steak would come back.
With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely! The only person not present. Indeed, alone Englishman, dining all by himself. Okay,
Couldn't be dining.
1 second. Alright, so now, I believe we present... It's either this one or
steak!
this one. I'm gonna...
Oh.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take a... I don't know.
I would
Should
assume it'd be that one, and not the dead body one.
Yeah, I think I need to present this photo, but if I don't, then I'm pretty sure I have to present this one. Yeah, let's do it.
True. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, let's try this.
Yes!
Ah, crap, I hear the thing.
The music is still going. That's how you know.
No! Well, how about the last statement made by the witness? Shaking his head.
It's
It
the
seemed-
other one.
It seems perfectly reasonable to me. Exactly. Perfectly reasonable in every way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself. No!
No!
Took a hit! You got everything through from the start.
Okay, so we know it's the medical record then.
Yeah, it's gotta be this guy.
Yes!
There we go. Well, I think, about what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke? Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under these circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. ... Don't feel like you... Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. ... All right. And thanks for the advice. Just breathing. Korikuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see, and I don't see.
What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Still can't slam his hands. Something clearly
He's trying, though.
Something clearly doesn't add up.
Dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not interrupting the court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
Grr.
But that's,
Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimony the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides the pale-faced pupil who could possibly...
The medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst has have petrified me, boy! And you slammed that desk! My God!
He's doing it!
Of course I believe it! How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Ouchie, he dresses like that, MF, because, yeah. He's like an old-fashioned guy in late 18th century.
Old school.
Yeah. He's old school. Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. ... What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
Just what are you trying to say, Cadet?
He had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wore off.
What? No, that can't...
Korikuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case.
He did it. Little bang bang.
Grr. Because the victim, as we now know, had just one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Arrgh! Expertly done, partner. Partner.
I'm so proud of him.
What? What is this nonsense, you little upstart? ... These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. I'm just imagining he does that friggin' CSI meme where he's like, seriously, the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Yeah! Dun, 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 dun. Meet
If
the
only
new
he had the
boss.
sunglasses.
If only he had the sunglasses, yeah. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves only one crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning the trial around. Show them what you're made of! The answer is simple, the chair was eating the steak. Oh, that's one hungry chair. Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... me! I was eating it!
Woman!
Okay.
Oh, no. We could have eaten it.
An as of yet unknown third party.
The woman!
Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Attention! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes, I mean, no, I mean, I need to stop doing that! There was, because I saw her! When the incident occurred, we knew that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. We have evidence of a half-eaten steak on the table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else eating there. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fairer trial, relentlessly.
Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government?
Yes. Yes, I would. Does this headband look like it lies? Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand! What? What are you talking about? Alright, see ya, Darkra. Dark.
Bye.
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. Catch the culprit. Well, we will. We will. So
We'll try.
We'll try, yes. So if it turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? What, I thought people lied in these trials all the time. I gotta admit, it's weird that they're bringing up perjury now, considering I've played all the Phoenix Wright games. Like, witnesses lie in those trials all the time, and I don't think they ever get charged.
Trouble, yeah.
Yeah, they should get charged with perjury at some point.
You'd think they would, but...
We will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No!
That's what you get.
Hmm? Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. Wait, what? I was just following orders! Oh, that's your defense, huh? That's your... Hmm? That's your defense!
That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us.
Oh, what a fool.
Oh. What? What did you just say, Korikuta-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean... you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Attention! What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair?
Oh, they've been caught.
Just one. Just one simple slip of the tongue! Order! Order! Council! Explain what's going on here! It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
Oh, back to that.
Oh no.
Who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
That's classified! So you're prepared to try for conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't! This can't be happening! Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi has any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence the witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
please, wait! Your Excellency! I have no idea any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency... no time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes to my head.
Smart.
Okay. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary intel... Okay, so... I kind of messed up here. I should have gone back and looked it over. Crud.
Okay.
Shoot. I
So-
don't...
We're
I
meant
can't-
to have had. I mean, you technically already know.
Yeah, I
But-
know. So, I'm just gonna say, it's this guy.
I had a feeling it would have been him.
Yeah. It's this guy, and I'm gonna show you why in a second, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. So, here's the deal. If we examine the evidence, like this guy here, we see that there's a number back here. My personal student number is engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as Yume student at the university. Yume no come in, they say. Ugh. Of course, you can get a new pin made if you can just tell them your number. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere, but then I forget not to forget that. Ugh. Come on, dude.
No, man, I love it.
You're so dumb. Anyway, post-mortem report. This is that information on it. Photograph has nothing. What we need to do is we need to look at this. Now, this is what I meant when I said that the game kind of cheats in this respect.
He said it was a business card, didn't he? So
Yes.
he'd probably turn it around and, I'm
Yep.
assuming, find something.
Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
Ah, smart.
Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division's Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... The waiter's business card information has been updated in the court record. Right. So that's what we need to do.
Sneaky.
Yeah. So... Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection! Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke, time to hit the court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence.
He is a policeman!
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail. I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should say the front? Yes! The front of the back of the card! That's where the telling detail is! You're really bad at it.
There, he's getting there.
He's getting... Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Turn it over, man.
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? What, the waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any of this mentioned before. Why haven't I heard any of this mentioned before?
Oh, ouchie. You're so stupid.
He's gonna have it coming to him soon.
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witness there in the stand. ... Was it in fact the waiter who gave you the orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well...
Get it out.
Aha! Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Yeah, see, that's why he was so nervous back then.
Makes sense now.
Yeah. Though I will admit, it was kind of stupid for him to put it on his police business card instead of his waiter business card.
You think being a policeman, he would, you know, make these connections?
Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It is my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter?
Ah, of course! Your salary must be terrible! I was working undercover, you idiot!
God. Ryunosuke, you're so precious.
Of him.
Undercover? Yes, there have been series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
Murder.
That would be classified police information, which I'm not at liberty to divulge. Okay, so it's really, really important is what I'm getting.
Super, super important. Which I assume will come back at some point.
I'm sure. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. So they're absolutely important to this case of homicide.
Oh, definitely.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. You will elaborate on the 1 point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard the new information from the 2 witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. ... If that is indeed true, clearly you 2 would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I'm led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these 2 witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Ahem, ahem. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. ... Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders, not offers. Special offers are what he gets on his downtime.
Yeah. Don't want special offers.
Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if the Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. ... The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect... Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So, that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! ...
They like their ...
One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical facilities research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. ... You mean... When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jazeel Brett. Yeah, I don't quite know what the pun there is.
Oh, maybe it'll come up eventually. There's got to be something.
Yeah. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty.
What? What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. ... Slam. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that the premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
But, Your Excellency, that would be missing the noon deadline of a ruling in the order to send a telegraph report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Running out of breath. I might have to go get a drink once this is over.
That's too many men talking. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
Ugh.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir? You will locate this Jazeel Brett and escort her to the courtroom with utmost urgency. I get a feeling you'll have a few more lines to say at a later point.
So,
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. ...
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem?
he needs to get that cough sorted out.
Nothing will get in my way. Oh, you look kind of cool there, actually.
It's his hero pose.
Yeah. You might actually be a pretty cool guy.
It's just a bad situation.
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Jazeel Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. And we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Okay. I'm gonna go get a drink, and then I'll be right back, and we'll continue this, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. That was quick, right?
That was quick, yes.
Good. So how are you liking this so far, Haley?
I'm loving it so much. I love the characters already.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. We'll save. This is where I saved last time, so it doesn't really matter. And we will continue.
Yes.
22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defendants, Antechamber 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Ugh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth.
Leave him alone!
It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. What, me? An ace attorney? There's no way! Not even my ancestors would be great ace attorneys.
Impossible!
I will admit, I do think it's kind of weird that, Phoenix's great-great-grandfather was apparently a lawyer as well. Because, if you actually pay attention to his backstory in the first game, didn't he want to be a lawyer just because Edgeworth defended him in, like, a kid's trial?
Yeah, definitely. He wanted to... He was inspired by Edgeworth. And then eventually he was like... Oh, well, initially he was inspired by Edgeworth. But then Mia inspired him even more to actually pursue it properly, I think.
Yeah, so really, shouldn't Ryunosuke here actually be like Edgeworth's great-grandfather if you think about it?
It would make a bit more sense since he seems to be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Edgeworth's I think it makes more sense that Edgeworth's great-grandfather would have been like a great lawyer guy in old Japan, but whatever. This is what the game wants to do. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Oh, I don't think you have a choice.
No, there's no choice in that matter, mate. You're coming back.
Ha 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 ha! Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Dot dot dot. Miss Jazeel Brett. A student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I could see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down to pick it up... Bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside the dining area. Oh my god, I'm just imagining Ryunosuke inside of a pantry just going, "Hello?
No!
Anyone
Poor
out there?
boy!
What's going on?
Oh, at
Dr.
least he has all
Wilson?
food with him.
Dr. Wilson, are you okay? I heard a gunshot! Hello? It's cold
Hello!
It's cold in here!
Help!
Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in his trial. ... Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why... I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn as they can. To learn all they can. My bad. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your studying tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case.
Personal connection?
Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement in our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. ... Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt your pair will wind up in a good fight, right to the last. Besides, best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course.
Oh, you said it?
She's so cute. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside. The courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before the old fossils know what hits them.
With a sword.
Kazuma? What? I love you, Kazuma. So do I.
True love. True love, Kazuma.
In a entirely platonic sense. Oh.
No.
Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is.
Romance.
Romance. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like, from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course.
Period date. Oh my gosh.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, by the way, I should mention, everything going forward, I have not played yet, so this is all new to me.
Oh my gosh, we can do it.
Yep. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation flounders?
I assume that's supposed to say flounders, but it says founders.
Founders wouldn't make sense as far as I can tell.
Yeah, okay. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nation is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation of our nations find itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong! Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. ...
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country that will with no future at all. ... Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror... You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes! Your Excellency!
Oh god, I'm so excited! I want to see her! Oh my gosh.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Somebody bring English tea. In England, no discussion takes place without tea. I don't know, is that true? You know more than I would.
Yeah, there's a lot of tea. I never liked tea before, and then as soon as I moved here, suddenly I like tea again.
Weird. Maybe that's also the way in Canada. If you were to move to Canada, you'd suddenly like maple syrup.
I wonder. Because I definitely don't like maple syrup now.
Oh.
I should try.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Is that true? No idea.
So, ahem. Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but my true—
Yes, we all know about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always the ladies first. Is that true? No idea. I mean... More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. I don't get it, what are you saying? I'm saying she's a very pretty woman, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you notice that?
He doesn't get it.
He just stares into Kazuma's face. Da, 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 da. I don't know,
He
maybe
has
I just...
eyes for Kazuma.
I
And
don't
he's
know.
pretty headband.
I don't know, maybe... Wait a minute! The headband isn't blowing! What's going on?
He's lost his power. He's lost the power.
Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Yes, I can say that most indubitably.
Lorem ipsum, I guess. Oh, I get it. She's speaking English.
Oh, right. Oh god, he has probably had to translate for her.
You know, she does kind of look like Haru, actually, yeah.
He does, yeah. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
Dot, dot, dot.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Okay, I guess she's just not gonna speak Japanese in this court trial, maybe? I don't know.
No, I'm calling it now. She can totally speak Japanese, but she's playing dumb.
Ah, okay. That could work. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University's medical facility. So, I guess you could just say things like crumpets, wanker,
all the
Big-
typical English words like breakfast, English breakfast tea, and yeah, crumpets and oh man, what?
Fanny?
I don't know what else is English.
Okay, never mind. Let's just keep going.
She can just have a sim. She can
Sim.
just talk like the Sims.
She talks like the Sims, exactly.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tone of the delightful language of the British people. Oi, get down off that roof! Get down here, you bugger! Get your
You
fanny
what, mate?
You what, mate? I'll beat you up right out of this Tesco!
Oh my god, Tesco's. It is like that around Tesco's.
All I know about Tesco's is that they're sort of like the Walmart for the UK.
Oh yeah.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Haha, you'll obviously do fine England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryonosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
What if it actually says anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Because
Hmm.
here's the thing. I know for a fact that parts of this game do take place in London. They actually do go to London in this game. I'm pretty sure that happens. So they have to... The sign ahead says road construction ahead.
Oh my god, she said all that and she just says yes.
Yeah, I don't know. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese?
Suspicious.
Yeah. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Likely story.
Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape, I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind to cast your eyes on this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in the courtroom shot the victim in cold blood.
Well, she'd say that.
Order! Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have a witness absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clearly who our real enemy is. ... Unfortunately, I'll have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Nod.
Nod. A frightening and sorrowful sight.
Oh,
Thank
chipmunk speak. That's how she speaks.
Thank you. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a condemning testimony indeed. I mean, no, I mean...
Stop
Ugh,
it.
I have to stop doing that! I really have to stop doing that! No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all!
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted god! You black-hearted blackguard! And look at the Snow White Angel! I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
Ugh, but he's so annoying!
Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from the lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she couldn't conceal a firearm.
I mean, have you seen that giant booty?
It's underneath the swan's wing. Calling it right now. The gun is under the swan's wing.
It could be in the swan.
Or it could be one of her hair curls. That's possible.
It could be. Get those little tiny gun.
I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. See, he's smart.
He gets it.
Unless until the precise location where the witnesses to have a hidden weapon can be shown, this is moot. I mean... okay. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. Arg, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it.
No,
What? There's...
that's rude.
Yeah, dude, don't do that. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. Rash or illegal.
A little of both.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Oh, I think I saw her smirk.
She's evil.
She's evil! Evil! A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. Oh wait, so, okay, we're not getting her actual, Right, okay. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor at the end, which you shot him, which is now a totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform, I'm just exactly the same way as you are, except for the flipping red ribbons. Hey.
That they acknowledge his headband.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. ... If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, an opening will present itself. I promise you. Alright?
Alrighty, let's do this.
We need to press her. Let's see. Okay.
Yes!
I mean, no, I mean, I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing the retort at you. It was merely for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. ... I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not!
How would she know you were arguing if Circle doesn't understand Japanese?
Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all seppuku igurishutu.
Supiku!
Supiku ingurishu. Oh, okay, I get it.
Supiku.
I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Hmm? Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still have some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave.
Oh, she's grinning about.
In all honor, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Okay, let's press this.
Yes!
Yeah, that bit seems a bit awkward.
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there is no point in reading the assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but... Oh. Well, I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor after I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes! There was some music... There was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time.
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty?
You baseless accusations could be very well cause an international incident, boy.
It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense. The lady's merely stating what she saw.
And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned. Anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so I would say Grant has been the culprits.
We don't have any evidence to even look at yet, do we?
Nothing? Hold on a second, I need to check something. I'll check something.
Will it have something to do with his position in his seat?
No. Not... Okay, I think the deal is we just have to press her on a bunch of things first.
Oh, maybe it's one of those things where you have to press everything.
Yeah. After 2 p.m., in fact, that's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right?
No.
Oh.
No, that definitely says no, yeah?
Ugh.
A decisive English no has quite the sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems, so it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in the question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Ms. Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Okay... Let's press everything. He was unable
Yeah,
to
might
eat...
as well.
He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he just took a tooth removed at Hoda Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of the fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left.
Okay.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So, the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was able to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appeared that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Diners, I should say. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's
I think
probably...
it's middling there.
Yeah? That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
Actually, I'm gonna check something here.
Water. I mean, there's no glasses.
What? And that's not water, that's wine.
Yeah.
That is a wine glass and a wine bottle. That is not water at all. Aha! Eureka! The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well, sidestep, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will be apparent when the time is right. It could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Okay, so... I'm going to save,
Well,
just to be on the safe
yeah.
side.
It's definitely the wine, because there's clearly no water on the table, and there's
Yeah.
wine instead.
Yeah, so that's clearly what the contradiction here is.
I already know another contradiction, but it obviously can't be brought up yet.
Oh, what's your contradiction?
Well, I mean, the steak is in front of him, so he's clearly been moved. Or
Oh yeah, I just...
the steak
yeah.
has been moved.
Oh. Well, thank you, Haley. You actually figured that out before me.
It'll come up eventually, I'm sure.
Let's do this.
Yes!
Haha!
Yeah.
Music stopped! That's it!
He's so shocked. Oh my god.
Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of the print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says.
Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professors had cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Yeah, and also, that's not water, that's wine. Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence of or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there shouldn't have been 2 glasses on the table. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can't clink with only one? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. You wanna... Okay, thanks.
Chipmunk voice.
Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What?
And where did she put it?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious! She hid the glass in her bird.
Sorry.
Maybe she did, MF. Maybe she did. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. You must remember that this student had just murdered the lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse the venerable young lady, beautiful woman of mischief?
Mischief?
What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying.
Where's this handbag?
Oh, come
Where is
on.
it?
Now, you have literally just admitted that you have a thing that you can put a gun into. Are you
Oh, and I bet
serious?
they're not gonna pick that up, are they?
A handbag, you say? Yeah, literally at this point, if I was Ryunosuke, I'd just be like, then you could have hid the gun in the handbag.
It makes you want to scream at them.
Yeah. So the beautiful young lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the facts remain that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. Ugh. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No!
No!
Well, I don't know, really. How can you not know? She
Dude,
admitted
come
she had a handbag. Tell them she could have put the gun into the handbag. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. When she took the glass away in her handbag, is there a deeper significance there? It's the handbag.
Handbag.
Wait, the lady put a glass in her handbag, you say? Yes. Do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that the English gentlewoman carries her carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett said the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what if she forgot to mention was her handbag? In which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that, too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? Is she some kind of sort of kleptomaniac? Maybe. We don't know why she killed Dr. Wilson yet. It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defense picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. See, I feel like if this was a more contemporary setting, the case would already be over because they'd just be like, okay, was this gun actually fired? What? No,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
What's it called? Like the fingerprint of the gun, of the bullet?
Well, that, and they'd also just be able to pick up the gun that Ryunosuke had and just be like, Oh, there's no gun residue at the barrel?
Yeah.
There's no signs that's actually been fired? Okay, well, you clearly didn't do it. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting...
Inspector Hosonaga! Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Gisela Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Dun dun.
Order, order, order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? So how much you want to bet that this lady's freak out is going to be her ripping off her hat and revealing, like, some ridiculous hairstyle underneath?
Oh, definitely. She's probably got crazy eyes as well.
Probably. Oh, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. ... As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because... It was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I have completely forgotten about. Oh, really?
No.
Boo! This photographic print. Boo!
Where are they getting all these photos from?
Wait, what the hell is that? On his wrist.
Ah, it's see-through.
This print is a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are high in the fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Arg! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here.
Nah, she's evil.
Thank you for helping prove that, Naruhodo-san. Wah! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Okay, let's take a look at this thing.
Yeah, there's gotta be something else on it.
I think you had enough time to cross-examine the witness, Counsel. Let's take a look. Okay.
What is there something to do with his hand as well? Like,
yeah,
what is that?
There's a bull tattoo on his hand, and I don't know why.
Gotta mean something off like later on.
Yeah. ... The court has now been shown to consider considerable evidence. As the photograph print just submitted into the court records appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion.
That would make him El Loco Toro. He is history's greatest monster.
That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma.
No, Kazuma.
Your headband. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. ... Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
Cosimo, you have to believe!
I must say, you put up quite the fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on in your heart's content, from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Cosima, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Cosima, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we will be able to report this to the British government on time after all.
That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby find... Huh?
Yes!
Wait, Your Excellency! I'm taking cues from Captain Falcon! Yes!
Yes!
Ryunosuke, I don't think you can rule out this case yet.
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives the ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print you submit appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in the matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, the ruling of the case at this time would be out of the question.
This plain straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day of the question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
Well, let's see. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I failed to see what we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. The tattoo, maybe? I don't know.
It's gotta be the tattoo.
One final opportunity.
What?
Be warned that if I'm unsatisfied with your response to the trial, will be over with immediate effect. Alright, well, time to save.
Always gotta save it with these things.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at this photographic print Inspector Osanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded.
mean, we assume it's gotta be something to do with him. Does it contradict with another photo or anything?
Let's take a look here, actually. Okay,
He's got both his hands down.
Yeah, I can't quite tell from this perspective. This one,
Wait, this one only has 2 chairs.
Hold on a second here. No, wait, hold on. This one has 2 chairs, but what I'm thinking of... Okay, let's look back here.
This chair clearly is next to it.
And it also has a spot on it.
Oh, gunshot? No. Blood? Dirt? Something?
Hard to say, but the thing is... I'm not seeing anything here. So...
It's another chair. It's a completely different chair.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
That looks like a setup photo or something.
Okay, let's,
That's not actually him. That's not his body. That's someone else. And then you end up proving it with a tattoo. I've figured it out. I've connected the dots.
Possibly, or... Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna save again, and I'm gonna see what happens if I do the chair. And if I don't do the chair, then I'll do the tattoo, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be the chair. Maybe.
Just here, I feel that around this
Oh,
area...
no.
Oh, no. I failed.
I feel like we're on the right track, though.
Okay, right, let's...
It's gotta be the tattoo, then.
Right, let's try the tattoo. I know it's a handbag that stands out in this picture, but you need to look for... You're right, of course.
You've gotta also remember, this is like tutorial
Right.
trial
I need
beginning, so it's
right,
gotta
I
be
need-
obvious.
Yeah, maybe I am overthinking this. You're right.
Hold it!
It's not until later where we have to really be like looking at the tiny details.
Yeah. Okay, okay, let's, do the tattoo.
Yes!
Look at
There we
this.
go.
Here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. ...
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what the new piffer you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? That has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. ... Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also knows that when performing the post-mortem examination, it was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in the report.
Damn it, so it is on him then. Ugh, there goes my theory.
Oh well. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
It looks like a cow.
It really does.
Like an upside-down cow. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by this curious shape of this mark. Yeah, exactly. However, as the prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Animal Crossing noise.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. I would see Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and the other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused for the stand now.
No.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe that this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. If I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hopes that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just let that burn... If we can just link that burn to the case... If we can do that, we might be able to we might be able to prise the situation door back open again. Prise this shutting door back open again. Okay. Sorry, I read that badly.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without further evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But we have evidence? But if we have had evidence of the irrefutable link to the burn of the victim's wrist in this case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. Okay, what kind of evidence would... No, that can't be it.
Is there anything in the other photos or anything that's shaped like his
Bull?
burn?
That's a good question. Wait a minute. What about the bag itself? No, that's a rose. It's not really a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't quite see anything.
Anything on the table? No.
Aha! I see it!
You see it! You found it!
Aha! I've seen it! Eureka!
You've done it!
As soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that bird and the case. This is the moment of truth. Time to find some evidence that proves what that bird really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's bird and this trial.
The steak plate!
What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe the photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at a time are recorded forever.
Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say?
To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusual shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean.
What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Moo cow!
The moo cow! Hooray!
Yes. The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah,
Your Excellency, are you alright?
as you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. The emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ah?
Ryunosuke, you're genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Thanks, Kazuma. Sadly, Prosecutor Aochi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long, and although it's not a particularly large burn, it is extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. It is no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. And the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Clearly got the burn after he died then.
Yes. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on that day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, the professor had carefully laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would have without any question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Professor Ouchie? Prosecutor Ouchie.
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamed we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe
He was already dead.
we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of the apparent impossibility. On the day in the question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain silent without his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already...
Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness!
When? When did he die?
Order! Please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, who clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of evidence. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency...
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Come on, say something.
What was that smile?
Yes, of course. Oh, she's actually speaking now. Yes. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter up until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Bitch. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Well, you called it.
It is.
Well, you called it. You called
Knew she could speak it. I was going to say speak English, but I mean, knew she could speak Japanese.
it.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses and toast. As far as I've heard, post-mortem reports showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can have been taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Yeah, it was poison.
But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Bitch.
She knows.
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Judge.
Easy does it.
I hope that is the last time I'll have to use my... Gosh! English again. I hope that this... Wow! I hope that is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
You've insulted, like, everyone.
No, not at
Hundreds
all.
of millions!
Not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. She's mean. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer, then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
Dot dot dot.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
He's so cute!
Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Do this thing.
The victim's death. Unfortunately, okay, I just need to... Show no one possible cause of death besides dementia. There's something...
Yes!
Press. Without leaving a trace, if someone...
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height. However, a person's life is taken. There are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. As our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. Oh, I don't know. Poison? You know what?
Poison?
They just had a drink! She said they had a drink!
Think about this for a second.
Connect it, man! If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspirations. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence.
We don't have any evidence yet, do we? Unless we look at the glass she took? Somehow?
I need to examine it. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in the glass. So
No.
and in this one, anyway. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Nothing in it.
Oh, wait a minute. The
You
bottle.
see something?
The cork is still on this bottle here. If assuming this is the water that they drunk, there's still a cork there. That's interesting. That could be it, but I'm gonna actually try pressing some of her. I'm gonna try pressing her a bit more on some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think that's the smarter thing to do. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh? What? Ah!
He's looking at his dick. What fun! You hadn't realized.
The dear lady is absolutely right.
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me?
No, Kazuma. Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Well, I can't.
Anyway,
The waiter brought my steak. The professor and I raised our glasses to toast.
Yes!
Okay. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was the only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
doesn't look like water.
Exactly as you say, sir. Although...
Although?
whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table... I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you.
Ah! I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of the others in the court, it means bless you!
Oh, you fool.
I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyway,
Yes!
Let's press this. Yes, it's written here, the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
yes. Oh yeah, so much to say.
Well, now you have to now you have to start saying lines.
Lucky for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been a bullet from your gun that put an end to the innocent man's life. That doesn't make sense. That burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter.
Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. The victim burned his wrist in the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen. And he must have already been dead at that point.
And yet the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right.
Arr.
I really want steak now.
I feel like it's actually asking me to... Okay, I'm gonna press this once more, and,
Yeah.
let's press this. This is the last thing. Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. What's going on?
Hello?
Yes.
What is that?
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene.
That's interesting.
I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Definitely something.
A killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Yeah, specifically... What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma? What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean... about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. It might present an opening, maybe.
Yes, tell us how to do this.
Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. How do I switch over? Oh,
Maybe it shows you in when you're inside.
maybe. Yeah, I gotta... Whoop.
Oh, it's probably one of those things that later on, as you're doing other cases, something will pop up. You're like, oh, I have to react to it immediately.
Probably. Gotta just go through this. Come on.
I love you, Kazuma. I love you so much already.
Yeah,
You cool headband.
Kazuma's pretty great. Come on.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, we'll just get the ...
Wait.
There we go. Okay, so evidence will be lost. So how do you... Maybe you just have to keep going.
Maybe, yeah. Yes, there it is
Yeah,
again.
there
Okay.
it is.
The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man as his train of thought. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all down to it's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Bread, who the person is actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with... Oh! How are you doing that with your mouth? You can turn your attention to the other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with X. You can catch the person just at the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so for my first move should move the marker across with... Wow, now even I'm doing it with my mouth. And focus on the detective. Then pursue with the X button and see what's on his mind. Here we go.
Okay.
Wait.
There he goes. Go for it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me!
Oh, excuse me. Oh.
What the? Dot. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts, deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection! What is the meaning of this?
Is the delightful English woman who's testifying at the moment?
If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not.
Hmm?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Ah, yes, not to mention the fact he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga? Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett?
Come on, man. Give us something.
Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak.
Oh, she don't.
The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done.
Ah,
A crime scene thief? Wow, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example.
bottle.
Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. Okay, so I thought that was wine, and that's why I was confused.
You know what? It probably is wine, but they just translated it to be carbonated water.
I mean, it seems
It's
weird
like the whole
because...
grape juice thing again.
Yeah, I mean, it seems weird that they would do that because I don't think this game is rated E for everyone. I'm pretty sure it's... I can't remember what it's rated, but Phoenix Wright games in the past have been rated M for mature, so I don't know why they wouldn't just have this be alcohol or wine. In
Yeah,
this case.
they seem to have a weird thing when it comes to wine for some reason.
Yeah. Actually, oh well, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. On one day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. Ahem, ahem. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass of bottled water as evidence. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Miss Brett? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle of water from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? Alright, let's take a look at this baby.
Let's see what we find.
Okay, well, it's unscrewed.
See anything? No.
I haven't got anything out of place. Alright, there's nothing inside, I guess.
Yeah, probably only the label at this point.
The label's written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yeah, I'll say. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Oh, I guess they ordered Perrier. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you... You could just say that you don't know.
Surely that can't be it. Anything behind the label?
No?
No.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. The inspector will kindly control his fervor. Ahem. Okay.
Alright, so does that bring up anything else now, or?
I think I have an idea of what this might be. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to save, just to be on the safe side.
Smart choice.
Always a smart idea to save. And I am going to present this photo. And the reason why I'm going to present this photo, there's a corkscrew in the top of this bottle. It's corked, see?
So it's like they've not even used it yet.
Yes, it hasn't been used. But and yet there's a glass there. So let's see if this works.
Yes!
Damn it!
No! No!
Okay.
He said there was still some water in the bottle, but it didn't even look like there was anything in it.
Yeah, I'm sure that was just a...
Animation choice.
Okay, I'm gonna load that save. Because I wanted to...
Precious life!
Precious life, yes. Okay, let's see here. Oh, good thing I can control time. Good thing Ryunosuke has an henceforth undisclosed power to control time. Okay, let's see here.
Maybe it's just the bottle that you present then.
Maybe I do just have to present the bottle, yeah.
Time lawyer!
Time lawyer!
Yes!
No.
Oh god.
That's-
Load!
Yeah, I'm, this is quicker than doing it the other way, trust me.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you have to press it again.
Yes!
Maybe.
I'll see if it's different at any time.
Oh, maybe she'll react to something now.
I'm afraid I don't remember that. Oh, I remember now, yes.
So, is this
Yeah.
her reacting now?
Yeah, this is her reacting, and now I can press her on that.
Ah.
Can I?
I mean, I would assume so. Well, maybe not.
Excuse me!
Oh, okay. What do you make of that? I'm talking about that last statement.
Hmm.
What I mean is, does nothing strike you as unusual about
Oh man, he's having a hard time.
This is hopeless. No matter how hard I try, I just can't get past that cough. I don't think you need to push it, Renosuke. Give him some time. Yes, alright. I'll leave it for now. Gonna press her on this again just to see if I have
Yeah.
to... Okay,
So she's not having a reaction yet.
okay.
Okay, so he's talking now. Um, Okay, so it's definitely asking that we need to present evidence.
I'm gonna... Hold on. I'm gonna go over here now.
There's gotta be something.
New evidence. Excellent work, Renosuke. I never even thought of pursuing another witness over at the Kirk. That was a great idea of yours, Kazuma. Well, it was all thanks to you noticing that the detective had reached strangely what the lady said. I never guessed he had all the both. To be honest, you keep surprising me at every turn. Sorry? Oh, never mind. So we know that Dr. Wilson was killed around the time the steak was brought to his table. And by some means it left no physical trace on his body, so we could just demonstrate how it was done.
Who's the bottle then?
Well, I do have one idea that was about how the professor was killed. Maybe I should just present the evidence and see what happens. Okay, I think I see what it's telling me to do here. Do show me. Okay,
I'm assuming it's just you share the bottle.
yeah, I'll just show her the bottle then.
Yes!
Oh,
We're thinking too hard. This is tutorial level.
right, yeah, okay, yeah. We are thinking too hard, yes. Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. See, I thought that they would explicitly have to be like, well, what about poison, before we could, like, go to there, but... Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Here it is.
Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order! 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 And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There was only one person who could have done it. Jazeel Brett! It was you! This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile! Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed a courting friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Oh, sorry.
You're just so used to talking, it can't be helped.
Can't be helped.
If I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgusting attack on the...
Ooh. She's got some sass. It is you who should be silent.
Of course. Dear lady! Where did that come from? She just snapped.
Afraid I may have spoken unfairly before.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna have crazy eyes underneath that hat.
Oh, she better. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point fully, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
Dot dot dot. Of course.
Oh,
You did? Aha! then this is where it comes into, because... Remember... Corkscrew still on. The bottle wasn't even used.
Oh my gosh. It's all coming together.
Oh, it's all coming together. Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time.
In this country?
We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by our chief coroner himself. No. No!
But it's French! French poison!
French poison.
I'm very grateful to... Oh, very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. ...
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I just thought of a really stupid way to kill someone. What's that, MF? I'm done for.
Tell!
Hmm?
I want to hear this stupid way of killing someone.
How do you kill someone in a really stupid way, MF? Tell us. What if he wasn't killed by a bullet, but the soda cork?
Oh my god.
That
Can you
would...
imagine?
That feels like too much for Phoenix Wright, even. I couldn't buy that. I just couldn't. I'm sorry.
That's why there's no bullet wound exit. She put the cork back in the bottle.
God, I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. We tried a bird and a dead person. Yes, I know.
Oh my gosh. I wish it was something that ridiculous. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma? My hairband is only blowing slightly, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Come on, show me your face. It's the cutie! Please, wait!
Isn't that... What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. I couldn't even say that properly. Sato... Oh, she was related to him.
Yes.
Ah. I can't say the word judicial.
Mikotoba. Mikotoba.
Miko... Ugh, I can't do it! Okay. Assistant to the defense.
Just say Miko, okay? Sutsato Miko.
Miko! Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in furoshiki cloth, my bad. To be continued? Oh no. Again?
The suspense!
So you want to keep going until we finish this case? Or is it late on your end?
It's getting a bit late on my end. We can continue this another time.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. This was fun, Haley.
It was fun. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, we can do this. I don't know. We could do this Friday, Saturday. I'm good basically all next week because I only have opening shifts. Although wait,
I'm pretty much good whenever. You just hit me up and I'll be there.
okay, cool. I'll definitely contact you another day. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Haley. Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you for inviting me.